Welcome back to Charting the Course, uh, part of the Root Network. My name is Pastor Archie Collins, Senior Pastor here at World Changers Church Houston. We're glad that you're with us on today. Today, I have a special guest with me. Her name is Inyang Ekong. Inyang, now, I always technically say your first name wrong, but what's the correct way to say your name?
It's Inyang Ekong.
Inyang Ekong. Okay, so
There
we
you
got to
go.
get that right. Inyang Ekong. We're so excited to have her with us on today as we talk about the most important relationship that anyone can have, and that's a relationship with the Holy Spirit and how He helps us discover the real us. Now, Ian, I was just talking earlier with you before we got going here, and was just talking about the Holy Spirit in general and the fact that my relationship with the Holy Spirit, even though He's the same Holy Spirit between you and I, is somewhat different, most likely, than your relationship with the Holy Spirit. And the reason why that is I haven't been single since I was like 18. I got married a year after, like not even a year after I would turn 19. I turned 20, December 24th, 1996. I got married January 10th, 1997. So I literally
Wow.
went from being a teenager to a husband. And I've been saved since I was 3 years old. So I had a relationship with God, relationship with the Holy Spirit all the way through that time. But who I needed Him to be, to me, drastically changed at 19 and 20 years old. Let me just
Right.
ask you this. At 19 and 20 years old, what were you doing?
Trying to graduate. So I graduated from high school like I was 17. So I was in transition to being, you know, trying to be more sufficient. But of course, I was still living at
Mhm.
home with my parents. I started my first year of college. So it was really like trying to get my feet wet in the adulthood. But I wasn't even thinking about marriage. I was like, how can I get myself out of my parents' house? That was like my number one goal. So that was me at 19 and 20. So kudos to all that you had to do because it was not me
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
yeah. We're still going strong. 25 years later, be 25 years in January.
Yay.
Has had its wonderful ups. Has had some interesting downs, but with
Hmm.
the help of the Holy Spirit, it's always been up. I don't know if you are familiar with how stock market little ups and downs look,
Yeah.
but that's kind
Yeah.
of marriage, if you will. It's like it may look like this, and then do this and this, but then when you zoom out, that there's this
Yeah.
saying when you're looking at stock to know if your stock is doing good is when in doubt, zoom out. Because today it
Oh,
might be this, and over a week it might be this, but what's really happening if you zoom out over a month, it's actually going up. So
oh, nice.
and
Nice.
with the help of the Holy Spirit, that's been my um, experience, is that He's helped my life constantly as a man of God, as a husband, as a father,
Hmm.
kind of helped me that way. But with you being a single person,
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
was.
how's your relationship with the Holy Spirit been over the last however many years? I mean, for me, it's been all about these categories I just said. But what
Right.
categories do you find yourself in life relying on the Holy Spirit more than others?
So I'll speak in relationship terms because
Mhm,
that's what you have is your relationship with the Holy
mhm,
Spirit. So for me, 1920 was trying to figure things out. So in the early stages, I'm not gonna lie, I knew the Holy Spirit was there, but didn't know Him in the way I know Him now. So then it was just someone is there, and I had these feelings, I had these unctions, but it wasn't like, oh, that's the Holy Spirit. It was like, no, that's my conscience telling me not to do this or that. So
mhm,
it was trying to figure out how to first off get out of my parents' house. That was number one. And then number two, still trying to do school. So like relationship wise, I my relationship with him was like help me keep my emotions in check because
mhm,
in any relationship you're going to be emotional. So
mhm,
please let me not go off on this person because they're trying me. It was help me navigate through school because some things happened with my family and with my parents. And so for a period of time, I had to do some things on my own. I had never had to do anything on my own because I've always had my parents there with me. So it's been
mhm,
fortunate. But when that situation happened, it was like, okay, conscience, because again, wasn't really knowing who the Holy Spirit was. How do I figure this out? So it
mhm.
was those were the questions I was asking, and it was just the feeling, that feeling. Everyone says it's that gut feeling. It's that, oh, my stomach is queasy, or
Yes.
I'm not sure. And so that's what it was. And it wasn't until I became more involved with my church before this one that I
Mhm,
started realizing, oh, there is someone and he does have a name. And that's what gave me that. icky feeling, that uncomfortableness or that go for it, that, it was him doing all that throughout all those years. But before that, it was, okay, my stomach doesn't feel good about this, I'm not going to do it. Or, it doesn't seem like it's going to be right, I'm not going to do this. Or it could be, hey, go for it, and it's like all full throttle. But I never put a name to it until probably I would say probably 11 or 12 years ago.
Hmm.
And I've been saved, or went through the process of being saved, not knowing what being saved was, and that's a whole different situation. But going through that process of what being saved was, when I turned 18, 19, I understood it. But it wasn't until I was like maybe 24, 25 that I was like, oh, there's a Holy Spirit who does all these things. So for me, it came later. And you can be in church your whole entire life and not have any idea about any of these people. But for me and the Holy Spirit, it's constant. Now that I know who he is, it is constant communication, and being single in the fact that I am not married. Because for some people think single means, oh, you're not with anybody. No, sometimes when you're single, you're not single married, but you may be in a relationship. So for me, I'm in a relationship, and the Holy Spirit is telling me, I know him better than you do. And I'm being 100% transparent. I know him better than you do. So talk to me about him so I can show you how to work in this relationship.
Hey, we hope you're enjoying the Root Network. If you are enjoying this, do us a favor, like it, share it, subscribe to this page, our Facebook page and our YouTube page. Share it onto your own so that others can also hear the wonderful word that God is sharing through the Root Network. We're so glad and feel so honored and privileged to be with you on a daily basis. So we've also heard from you guys. Thank you for those wonderful comments. We're praying for you and believing God for you. So don't forget, click like, share, subscribe. We look forward to seeing you next time.